Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our final session in our 6-part yoga series, Cultivate Balance and Self-Mastery. In this series, we have explored bipolar disorder from a unique perspective. Brooke and Violet are connecting yoga philosophy and gentle, accessible yoga practices with psychoeducation. Breath awareness, gentle movement, and simple meditation will be repeated and also completely optional. If you did not join us for our previous 5 sessions, you can take a moment after this class to watch the recordings on our YouTube or Facebook on our website, and you can hear about Violet and Brooke's personal mental health and yoga journeys and practice additional breathing and movement exercises. So thank you again for joining us and offering our community this wonderful practice.
You're welcome. I want to thank IBPF again for having us. This has been really fun. Violet and I have gone through both of us have gone through life things during the last 6 weeks. I was sick last week with food poisoning, and I seriously could not get out of bed, and there's no other reason that I would not show up except that if I couldn't get out of bed. And I want to acknowledge and thank Violet for taking the reins last week. And I haven't watched the video yet, but I heard that you did just great things for the community. Thank you. I thought that maybe we could just take a quick moment to check in and then maybe get started with a little bit more conversation and offer a restorative posture too, and kind of wrap up some loose ends and say goodbye for now. So if you're willing to, you might bring your awareness to your seat and your spine. Finding a comfortable position where you feel awake and relaxed if possible. And this is a series of check-ins that I do with my clients in my classes. First, bringing your awareness, if you feel to the mental field, the activity of the mind. Just noticing what you're thinking about, not trying to stop it, just observing like leaves passing on the surface of a creek in front of you. And just acknowledging yourself for what you might be going through in this moment with compassion. As you begin to bring your awareness, if you feel to the emotional field. Noticing what's coming up for you here in this moment. And as we've brought our awareness to the emotional field, which could be correlated with the heart center, The lungs also reside in the heart center, so this might be a segue for you to bring your awareness to the breath. There may be a tendency to alter the breath. That's just fine. Remembering that simple breath awareness is the foundation for all breathing techniques. So you can remain there in awareness. Or if you'd like to, you can gently deepen the breath, activating the diaphragm. You're also welcome to place your hands, if you'd like, onto your belly so that you can connect more with the physical sensation of breathing. Belly expands as you inhale. And contracts as you exhale. Some people might find that they are reverse breathing, where they're exhaling and the belly expands. That's an indication of stress. Let yourself play with the breath, slowing it down, breathing through the nose. And some indicators of the relaxation response coming on are yawning, the urge to swallow, and tearing, just to name a few. So let yourself yawn proudly. Let your digestive system start to do what it wants to do. If you notice that you're holding tension or that you would like to energize, you might like to practice the double breath. This is the sniff, sniff, ha, ha breath. Short and long in through the nose, and short and long out through the mouth and the nose. I'll demonstrate. Allow yourself to linger between breaths, not causing any anxiety, but staying in that spaciousness. Allowing the heart to beat before you inhale again, no rushing. And of course, you're welcome to practice the 1-to-1 ratio breath if you find that you are experiencing sluggish mind or depression. It's an inhale and an exhale to the same count. Or if you have anxious mind, busy mind, you can elongate the exhalation up to twice as long as the inhale. Through the nose if possible. Incorporating the simple breath awareness with any of these techniques and the diaphragmatic breathing. Observe the physical body, making any intuitive adjustments to make yourself more comfortable. You might press the sits bones down and lengthen the spine upward, lifting the heart as if at a diagonal from the floor. And gently drawing the chin toward the heart to keep the back of the neck long and expanded and relaxed. To support that gateway for information to pass from brain to body and back. Relaxing the jaw. Allow the jaw to hang open slightly. You might gently draw your attention toward the point between the eyebrows, the prefrontal cortex, to direct energy to the highest center of the brain. Just for a little bit of movement, if you feel to, keeping your sits bones grounded and being gentle with the low back, keeping the neck relaxed. If you feel to, you might gently lean your upper body forward from the hip joints, not bending the spine at all. You don't have to come very far. And then from here, if you'd like, gently draw your body over to the left or the right, either side. We're going to make little circles coming back. When you're ready, we can take this super slow, moving through space to the other side as you're ready. Activating the core, you might gently engage the muscles of the pelvic floor, coming back to center, and you can continue this. Take 10 seconds or so. Avoid leading with the head. As if you were circling around a pillar of energy running through the body. That could be the spine or the astral spine. Let me call in subtle yogic anatomy. When you're ready, if you'd like to, you can reverse direction, but notice that transition. Notice any emotions or memories or impressions that arise. observing any negative self-talk. You might bring your attention back to the body, noticing where you might find some weakness or resistance to move in any quadrant or in any way. And maybe just explore that for another moment. Take it slow. And if you'd like to, you're welcome to exaggerate this a little bit just to bring some more energy into awareness in the body and the spine. Really simple. Notice the breath. It doesn't take much to re-embody, reversing direction if you'd like. And then take a moment if you feel to. When you're ready, come back to center and just observe the effects of that action. Relaxing again. Attention uplifted. And if you feel to, stretching the body side to side if you'd like. If the eyes are closed, you can keep them closed or you can open them gently. And draw one hand palm to face forward to protect the shoulder. Inhale, draw the arm up over the head to the side, stretching that rib cage. Keep that sit bone grounded on that stretching side. Exhaling, bringing the arm down. Take your time. You know how to do this move intuitively. Let it be comfortable. To the other side when you're ready. Moving with the breath to help to regulate the nervous system. Let's go again. Again, avoid leading with the neck, avoid collapsing the head, and let this be an action that runs from the bottom of the spine upward in an even arc. Take your time, let yourself feel if you'd like to. You might exhale, moving into your cat-cow, so rounding the spine. You can have your hands on the knees. Inhaling, lengthening the front side of the spine, lifting the heart, back bending. Avoid jackknifing the back of the neck, draw the shoulder blades together at the back body. Exhaling when you're ready to, rounding again, contracting. Inhaling, stretching the front side of the body. You can exaggerate this or let it be super subtle. Once more. Coming back to center as you're ready. Lengthening the spine once more, drawing the crown up toward the sky, relaxing the jaw, having a sense of trust in the physical body. As you exhale, you might engage the muscles of the pelvic floor just slightly. Inhaling and lengthening the spine, growing tall. Moving into a gentle twist if you feel to. Take one hand and bring it to the opposite thigh, not overdoing it. So twisting first from the lower spine. Let the rest of the spine soften toward that side into that twist. Less may be more. Let this be subtle so that you can enjoy each millimeter of the move Inhaling when you're ready to lengthen. Again, checking in with the subtle body. Exhaling if you feel to, softening like a rubber band, just gently. Continuing in your twist, we'll take another breath. Avoid cranking the neck or any part of the spine. Relax the eyes, lifting them gently upward. Inhaling tall. With the heart, relax the shoulders. Exhaling once more into your twist, if you'd like. And to come out of it, we'll go opposite. Inhaling tall. Sits bones grounded. And as you exhale from the upper spine down, come back to center. So first moving the head, the neck, the shoulders, the heart, the diaphragm, the solar plexus. Take a moment here at center, relax and feel and observe. Redirecting that subtle energy toward where you want it to go. Ideally, the spiritual eye, in toward the spine and up. Prefrontal cortex, inhaling to the other side, lengthening. And as you exhale, draw your opposite hand to its opposite thigh or someplace in that direction, moving from the lower spine first into your twist. Letting the upper spine follow, and a couple more breaths. Inhaling tall. Take it slow, breathing through the nose. Gaze is lifted. Exhaling, softening like that rubber band. Not twerking, but letting the movement come from within. Letting it be organic. Inhaling tall. Exhaling once more and relaxing into your twist. Coming out of it as you feel to, from the upper spine downward. First inhale and lengthen. Get as much space between the bones as possible before exhaling and returning the gaze towards center. The throat, the shoulders, the heart, and downward. Withdrawing your energy in toward the spine and upward with a relaxed throat and neck, jaw, when you've felt a moment of comfort or joy, some spiritual aspect of yourself, peace or wisdom, you might begin to transition, bringing your attention again upward to the spiritual eye before opening the eyes gently if you'd like. Or you can continue your relaxation or your movement when it feels right to you. Transition slowly. We'll take another moment. Pendulating between your inner experience and what you think might be coming next or what's in the mind, and then back to your inner experience. Joining the group with an awareness of your inner experience. Om Shanti. We could transition to the restorative pose to maintain the continuity and talk a little bit afterwards, or we could talk a little bit more now. Do you have a preference, either one of you?
No, whatever you would prefer is great.
I think move into the restorative pose, Brooke. I feel like we've kind of set the stage a little bit, and that would be nice.
Okay. So I would like to show a posture that's called supported side twist. It's a downward facing forward fold, which is appropriate for if you have been exhausted, if you are feeling anxious and wanting to shift your mode a little bit to an interiorized expression of experience. With this posture, you'll need a couple of pillows or a few blankets that are stacked. And I'm going to move away from the camera and demonstrate. So I have, move the camera once more. I have a couple of what we call Mexican blankets or yoga blankets that are folded in this sort of oblong rectangle. The length and the shape of a pillow. I also have a couple of bed pillows here, which might be more common to find in your home. Either way, we can use either one of those. But stacking them, and then we're going to sit side saddle with the legs in an M shape like a mermaid. The hip should be centered right at the center of those blankets or pillows. And then we'll inhale, tall spine lengthening. And as we exhale, engage the muscles of the pelvic floor again. Rotate toward the support, whatever it might be. And bring your hands to either side of the pillows or the blankets. So you're already in a twist here. And you can readjust the pelvis if you need to. Inhale and lengthen the spine, pressing the hands with deep pressure into the floor. That's a trauma-sensitive technique. And as you exhale, keep the length. Bend the arms at the elbows, draw the upper body down, turn and face the same direction as the knees, and slide the hands forward so that the forearms and the elbows meet the floor. You can stay here for as long as it feels comfortable. It might be just a breath, it might be several minutes, or you could fall asleep here. This is a two-sided pose, so when you're ready to come out of it and rotate to the other side, draw the hands to the floor, inhale, lengthen and lift the spine, moving out of your twist methodically, slowly. You might come to center facing the knees just for a moment so that you can allow yourself to neutralize, and then walk on your sits bones. So don't lift the body and don't move the blankets. We want to stay grounded as we turn to face the wall that was behind us and then the opposite wall. And again, the legs come in an M. Inhaling, tall spine. Exhaling, engaging the pelvic floor to protect the lower back. Rotating toward the blankets or the support. Pause for a moment. Avoid jackknifing the neck. Keep the neck long. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, bend the arms. Draw the upper body down. You're welcome to draw that back hand back and down, bringing the hand next to the hip. If you have neck issues, you're welcome to support the head with another blanket or a pillow, or you can turn the blanket For people who have limited range of motion, you can turn it at a diagonal so that it will catch your cheekbone and your nose can face the floor a little bit more so that your head isn't in quite as extreme of a rotation. With this setup, if you'd like to, we practiced Baddha Konasana and just a little review. So you could bring your lower back up against the edge of these pillows or blankets, whatever it is that you have. Having some support if you need to underneath the legs, or having your legs up on a chair, anything like that. And then drawing your body back. This is a nice counter pose for that forward fold, allowing the front side of the heart center to be expanded, a little stretch for the front sides of the shoulders, especially important for all of us now who are working on computers so much during the day, and allowing the head to be elevated a little bit higher than the chin, and the chin just a little bit higher than the breastbone. These postures are meant to still the body and quiet the mind. And it can take 20 minutes or so for the mind to really start to calm. So avoiding frustration or impatience as you're noticing that the mind is still busy when you're in these practices, knowing that this is a process, a transition, and enjoying the breath and enjoying the experience and the privilege of being able to practice a calming technique. We may be doing a service that we don't realize as we move through our own personal practice and self-realization. The regulation of our nervous system will help to regulate the nervous systems of those around us. So if we're calm, then we're helping to support our community, our families, and our friends. Also experience that calmness and peace. Really realizing that that's what it is that we are. We're just distracted by all of these outside external experiences. So allowing these practices of self-reflection to reveal to us that peace that resides within. It's up to us to take the time to do those practices. No one can do that for us. So this is an experience of self-responsibility, which is important at this time as a principle to help to support a healthy mind and a healthy world. Do you have any questions or comments? I could keep going if you'd like.
Yeah, I think you can keep going. I'm feeling so calm and relaxed right now and really connecting with everything that you're saying. So as of right now, I don't have anything to add any more value than you've already been giving. So I would love to keep hearing you talk.
Emily, do you have anything, or is there anything in any chat to address?
We could address one of our previous questions that we received in regards to sleep. I know I'm feeling very calm right now with everything that we just did. And so how you can kind of do those same techniques to calm yourself before you sleep.
So sleep is sort of a longer conversation because it includes a lot of lifestyle suggestions, I think, and incorporating yoga, yoga therapy, meditation is always going to be a support. You know, the supported side twist that I just showed is so nurturing and nourishing that it would be one of the poses that I would suggest before sleep. The Baddha Konasana posture that I showed second, that we practiced in an earlier session, that's sort of the antidote to insomnia, it's called in yoga, because it takes the pressure off of the endocrine glands and allows the hormones to sort of reset themselves. So that posture, that second pose, that heart expanding posture is safe to stay in for as long as it is comfortable. That could be all night. And if you stayed in that pose all night but didn't quite fall asleep, you would still get that restful benefit. You know, there's a lot more to talk about. I offer a sleep module. There are different poses, you know, legs up the wall is a great one. We haven't talked about supporting ourselves in legs up the wall in this series, but having a support underneath the sacrum so that the sacrum can kind of teeter-totter off the folded edge of a blanket or a pillow, so there's an arch in the low back. That can make that pose more sustainable for a longer period of time. The sacrum can start to sort of ache if we're in that pose for too long without any support. Also having a support under the back of the neck, a little bit of a roll like we did in Savasana in that legs up the wall pose. That's a great one for resetting and moving toward a relaxed state in an easy way, a pretty accessible way, so that that transition towards sleep can be achieved with a little bit more gentleness. You know, there's so many things I could talk about. We're on our devices so much, you know, turning off that flashing light. You know, what foods are we eating? What is that rhythm? You know, are we taking any kind of inventory at the end of the day or on a regular basis to look at, you know, things that were upsetting so that we can kind of take them off our plate for the night? You know, what's happening in our financial world? Money can be a big stressor for people, and so, you know, addressing that, maybe having some sort of ritual at night or regularly to look at those sort of social behavioral things. You know, all of that stuff contributes to a busy mind, a disrupted nervous system, you know, dysregulation on biological level, digestion, you know, hydration, all of that. So when I work with people in yoga therapy, we look at all of that stuff, and then offering these you know, gentle movements and breathing techniques. Deep abdominal breathing before trying to sleep is really powerful. Sometimes you don't need that many deep breaths to move again into a deeper state of relaxation that can help us float towards sleep. A weighted blanket is great, or pillows or something, you know, that can feel really, really cozy. There are a lot of things that are kind of moving through my mind right now. So I would just suggest that people contact me. Child's pose, you know, a little bit more exercise during the day, you know, all of those things. So Violet, do you have something you want to say?
I also think that something that's been very helpful for me, I know that the question that we got was sort of going to bed late and then waking up late, and you just want to like have that shift. Mm-hmm. And I think that ritual is something that's so helpful. So talking about this sense of releasing at the end of the day and then coming into these relaxing poses that, Brooke, you've offered up. I know that in working with you, I love Baddha Konasana when I'm feeling a little bit restless and I need to relax. And so having some sort of ritual that is enjoyable, that you look forward to, that you know is going to be soothing and relaxing, and then taking away sort of that judgment a little bit sometimes if it's not happening just the way we want it to be happening. So I would say, in addition to everything that you have to offer, if you can like pick and choose the stuff that fits best for you know, your own routine and your own lifestyle and what's coming up. And like you said, there's so many things that all add together, and could be tweaked and fine-tuned and everything. But I think having some sort of routine, and I like to think of it as ritual, because I think of ritual as something that's a little bit more enjoyable. It's like your custom made special time to gear in. And for me, I always struggled with the starting to wind down before sleep. And that's why I would like push off my sleep time and push off my sleep time and push off my sleep time. And as we know, with bipolar disorder, it's so important to try to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day if we can. So ritual, bookends. What are you doing in the morning? What are you doing at night? They're important. Meditation for me is the big thing. And then poses that can wind me down depending on my energy level. So that's just another thing that I would add. But I feel like you're the little guru of sleep and techniques and tips and tools. So
I like to be in my pajamas by like 9 or 9:30, so that I'm kind of cueing myself like, okay, and having my body actually lying down by 9:30 or 10, I tend to be able to train my body more easily to move to that restful state. So that could be something that could be experimented with. So I would like to just say to everyone, you know, we have viewers from Australia who have reached out, people in Germany. I wanted to say that Emily and I are in California and Violet's in upstate New York. We hadn't talked about that. So she and I work together online across the continent. And I just wanted to say how I love your New York accent. And you know, it's so interesting because yoga is the same. The yoga that you've learned at your teacher training, the yoga that I know, we want to stay really close to the classic tradition, so that it doesn't get adulterated and shifted so that it's no longer effective. We really want to stay with the techniques, doesn't matter where we are in the world, or what era we're in. We want to keep them clean so that we can benefit from them. There was another thing that I've been wanting to just mention since I think the first or second session. Now, a lot of us have co-occurring disorders, you know, health issues. That's one of the reasons why yoga therapy can be so effective. So we're working on the level of the mind. There's a little psychology, there's some physical therapy, you know, there's social issues, you know, community or lack of it, you know, inspiration, all of those things. So just to mention that, you know, most of us have something else that's physical going on, especially I believe in, you know, the statistics for people with bipolar disorder. There's usually some other co-occurring disorder, so that can be addressed with yoga therapy. I don't see a lot of people, in fact, I know very few yoga therapists who are working specifically with people with bipolar disorder. I think that it's scary maybe for people. They don't understand it. They don't know how to address it. It's misunderstood. And if you haven't experienced it, you wouldn't know how to, you know, what intervention might work when. And there's so much space that needs to be made for people's experiences. That, you know, any single person will have a myriad of experiences over a period of time. And so being able to kind of like, you know, jockey, I guess, like play with that. It takes a certain skill and it takes a lot of experience, I think, to address it appropriately. So just another reminder for people who are struggling with bipolar disorder and also their loved ones, you know, these practices of relaxation and finding appropriate relaxation techniques that are suitable for the moment, that you can have in your back pocket, that you understand and know and can practice whenever you need it without a teacher. There's a huge benefit to it. I also wanted to just speak really briefly to stigma. and the microaggressions that people with a diagnosis experience on a daily basis, that can affect the way that we see ourselves and the way that we interact with people. You know, this is a very, this is a time of great social upheaval for a lot of us, if not all of us. And I think that those microaggressions and that feeling like we need to scrap for credibility, if we have the diagnosis of bipolar disorder, I don't want it to be minimized. I think that's a really important piece when we're looking toward a therapeutic practitioner, for example. You know, even those professionals who specialize in bipolar disorder, psychiatrists, or, you know, I've experienced my own, you know, microaggressions against me, and not feeling open enough to express everything that's going on with in my experience to someone, because I don't want to be judged and feel worse about myself. So anyway, I just wanted to address that with compassion for this community, because I understand it's a big deal. I think that I want to stop there, because you know, really the next thing is to just sort of, you know, talk about how we can continue with this. If, you know, if people are interested, you know, I've had some really beautiful emails from people with really specific situations about their lives that is just impossible to address in a single email or a single conversation or a single session. This isn't meant to be a Band-Aid intervention. This is meant to be a long-term way of living, so that we can really improve the quality of our life. I appreciate that people sort of want to dabble and that it takes time and everybody has their own pace. But for my own, you know, as a professional in this, I work with people more longer term, 4 sessions minimum, 3 months minimum. I have clients that I've worked with for years. With great results. And so I just wanted to clarify that if you resonate with this, you know, if this brings you calmness and you'd like to incorporate it more into your life, you know, you can move toward, you know, online classes and, you know, kind of seeking something that might work for you. But you know, a qualified yoga therapist and a qualified yoga teacher who has experience with mental health issues might be more able to support you in finding the right way to address what's going on with you. I create programs for people with mood disorders and co-occurring disorders so that they can find a sense of peace and comfort, and experience life with a sense of freedom and joy. I've had people who have refrained from suicide who I've worked with. I have had people who have sought the appropriate treatment for themselves when they were resistant to it for whatever reason, hospitalization, for example, and medication. You know, I just support people with whatever choices they want to make. I want to help people have their best life. And you know, medication is a personal choice, and I know that it causes a lot of conflict for people. And so, you know, looking at that really from a holistic view can give people a really grounded sense of what the best decision might be for them, either short-term or long-term. We want people to be safe. We want people to be healthy. So finding ways to self-regulate. I mean, clearly this works, right? Violet and I are so passionate about it because it works. and we want to be able to make it available and accessible to as many people as possible. So if this resonates with you and you'd like to learn more, please reach out to me. You can look at my website. I'm going to be offering some classes. They're starting in July, July 11th, Introduction to Restorative Yoga, where you'll get sort of the smattering of poses and review how to do these and why. Some ongoing classes as well on Fridays here in the States, Friday evenings. And what I like to, what I affectionately call a posture clinic for old ladies. So having a nice uplifted spine, maintaining that spine, especially as we're slumped over these devices so much. Having shorter practices. We don't need to do a lot. 10 minutes a day can be really, really potent. So I'll be offering those classes as well. They will lead into meditation, some other special events. So I encourage you to go to my website and sign up for the informational emails that will give you kind of the up-to-date information. And reach out if you'd like to talk about yoga therapy. Send me an email. Let me know what's going on with you. Tell me what it is that you would like to experience so that we can get you from point A to point B with these yoga techniques. And then we can move on toward having a phone consultation that is free to see if it would be a good fit, and then how to move forward with yoga therapy. It's really effective online. It surprised me how effective it can be online. But for people who are willing to explore, for people who are at the end of their rope, you know, there are a lot of people out there who are at the end of their rope. And for people who are experiencing severe trauma, this is a traumatizing time right now, and our yoga practices are just even more valuable, more important, and can carry us through this time of transition with integrity and strength.
I want to say too, just my own personal testimony of working with you was I was feeling a little bit at the end of my rope, and we did that 30-minute call. And again, you're in California. I was in Vermont at the time, completely on opposite ends of the country. And when we were done with that 30-minute call, you sent me an email just confirming that you heard everything that I said. And it was everything that I said without judgment. And so I just do want to put in that plug for yoga therapy and the customization that you're able to give people, and just your knowledge and expertise. And I know that for me, I'm just a certified yoga teacher, and yoga therapy is what I would love to go into. So I offer private yoga classes, not too different from trying to find something customized that fits right for you, talk about what's present for you. It could be one single session, or it could be multiple, but I just want to give my personal testimony to you and how it's affected my life. I don't think that I would have kind of stayed with yoga if I didn't have you. I wouldn't be where I was if I didn't have you. So I just wanted to say that. And if people are I'll put my plug in. If people are interested in working with me as well in doing private yoga classes, my email I think is listed on the website as well. It's just my last name, loveys.violet@gmail.com. But it works. Yoga works, and even a little bit a day. Everything that we've done in these sessions is just it's just barely scratching the surface, what we've been talking about, just barely scratching the surface. There's so much more to it. So I would encourage everybody to continue to seek, continue to be a seeker. So yeah, I wanted to plug that in.
Yeah, I just, one last thing. I think, Violet, you're an amazing yoga teacher. You're an amazing human. You're an amazing human. And the movement is the movement practices of yoga are a very common way that people find yoga, the way their entry point into this way of living. So I would encourage you to reach out to Violet, because she is she's masterful at helping us to redirect the energy physically. And then once we redirect it physically, then we move into the meditation. I can do all of those things, but I'm not so focused on the asana practice at this point in my practice. It's important, and I can do that, but really I'm looking at all of these other factors that affect our mood and our sleep and our behavior. So I just wanted to say that as a sort of a differentiation thing, and Violet and I can collaborate too, which I would really actually like to do. We both would like to do. So this has been such a wonderful experience to continue to draw Violet and I together to bind the International Bipolar Foundation with yoga, the philosophies for mental health, and also to be able to reach out to the world. We're so excited to have been welcomed so warmly, and to have so much enthusiasm. We really are here to serve and enjoy.
And thank you both so much for offering this to our community. I know that I have benefited greatly even from these few sessions, and it's changed my understanding and perception of how powerful yoga can be. And yeah, it's amazing to feel those benefits so quickly. It really is incredible. And these tools that you have provided us with are going to benefit so many people all over the world. It's really amazing. It truly is. So thank you both so much for taking the time to offer this. Yeah. So again, if you want to learn more, and we'll have these recordings, all of them will be available on our YouTube, on our Facebook, and on our website, where you can watch every single one, learn wonderful techniques and movement exercises and mindfulness, and yeah, learn more about Brooke and Violet, and get some more information on our website. You can get, again, their website, brookewestyoga.com, Brooke's email, brookewestyoga@gmail.com, Violet's email, loveys.violet@gmail.com. All that information will be on our website, so please feel free to contact them. So again, thank you all for attending. I'll let you finish responding, Brooke, before I close it off. But thank you all for attending, and thank you for presenting this.
Thank you.
Stay safe, everybody. We love you.
Have a wonderful week, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.